So just finding a comfortable position, and if you need to, maybe sit onto a pillow, or if you do have a block, you could try sitting on that. If you're quite tight in the hips, it does help to just lift you and ease off the hips slightly. So finding a position that's comfortable, and just feel equal weight through the sitting bones. Try and avoid leaning forward or sloping back into the hips. Feel that you're lengthening up through the spine, lengthening up. Feel as though you're lifting out of the floor, out of the sitting bones. And just take a moment first of all for some nice deep breaths. So in your own time, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. And really try and focus the breath into the rib cage. So I've said many times before that we don't often think about our breathing, and we don't tend to take nice deep breaths, and we don't often use the full capacity of our lungs. So really try and focus this breath as deep as you can, down into the bottom of the rib cage and the bottom of the lungs. And this is a nice way of just calming you, releasing tension. You're feeling stressed, you're feeling anxious. This is a nice way of just calming you down and using the breath. Feel that you're letting go of any tension. And we're going to start just by moving through the head and the neck. So with your neck out breath, just taking ear towards shoulder. So just feeling a gentle stretch through the side of the neck. Try and relax the shoulders away. Take 2 deep breaths in. My cat's decided to join. And then bringing the head up, and now coming over to the other side. Out. Holding it here again for 2 deep breaths. Coming up when you're ready. We're going to do that again, and now add a little bit of pressure into that stretch. So again, you're going to come over to the other side. You're going to take your hand now onto the head and just gently draw the head down towards the shoulder. So you're increasing that stretch very slightly, not too far. Again, take 2 deep breaths in. And release when you're ready. And the same on the other side. So taking the head over first, and then bringing that hand onto the head, gently drawing ear towards shoulder again. 2 deep breaths. And release when you're ready. And now let's turn the head, look over the right shoulder, and just gently nod the head, and just circle the head over to the left, and coming up on that left side. And now nodding the head again, and circling down, back over to the right, and up on the right side. So again, nod the head, gently circle across, over to the left, and coming up. And again, just a couple more. Gently nod, taking the head across, and up on the other side. Nice and slow, don't move too quickly with this. We don't want to strain anything in the back of the neck. And let's finish on the left side, making it nice and even, bringing the head up and coming back to the center, looking straight ahead. This one now is really lovely for the back of the neck, good for strengthening, known as chin tucks. So we're just going to place a finger onto the front of the chin. Relax your shoulders, and quite simply, we're going to think about trying to tuck the chin into the neck. So try and draw away from your finger and tuck the head in. Try and avoid tipping the head back. You're sliding the chin in towards the neck, and now release and touch the finger again. So again, tuck the chin in, draw away from the finger, and then release. So essentially, you're making a double chin. It's the best way to describe it, but it's a really great exercise for the back of the neck. So if you do a lot of sitting at a desk and maybe hunched over, this is a really good one to be practicing. I recommend this one. Does a lot of work. Lovely, couple more. Tuck the chin in and release. One more. Tuck in and release. Lovely, take the hand away. So just increasing a little bit of a stretch through the neck now. We're going to sit on our right hand. So just place it underneath you, sit on your hand. And now we're going to turn the head to the left. So looking towards the corner of the room on that left side. Nod your head, so looking towards the knee. And now taking your left hand onto the back of the head. So almost at a diagonal here. And just help draw that head down a little bit further. Tucking the chin towards the chest. So now we're increasing the stretch down through the back of the neck and into the shoulder. So this is quite a nice stretch. If you're getting lots of headaches, you're feeling tense in the head and the neck, this is a good one to do. Taking a breath and release when you're ready. And now we'll change over. So sitting onto your left hand, turning the head to look to the right corner. Drop the head slightly, just looking towards the knee. Take the right hand now onto the back of the head and just gently drawing the head down. Again, if it's uncomfortable, release it off slightly. Holding it here and just taking some deep breaths. And let's take another breath. And breathing out as you release, take the hand away. You come off that hand that you're sitting on. And we're just going to roll those shoulders, bringing them up towards the ears and drawing them down the back. Just loosening off slightly. And changing direction, so try and bring them back and then roll them forward. As big as you can, just to release. Just let those hands rest down towards the floor. And we're just going to bring it back again, just to set those shoulders down the back and feel open across the chest. Coming into a little bit of rotation now for the thoracic spine. So we're going to take the arms up in front of us. So lower than the shoulders so that you can relax. And keeping the elbows nice and soft, so you don't have to lock the arms and reach out in front. Soften those elbows so they're almost in the same position as your legs here, parallel to the floor. Sitting nice and tall, we're going to take a breath in. And as you breathe out, just drawing the right arm back and just following into a gentle rotation and just looking over the shoulder. Breathing in as we come forward and breathing out to the other side, just drawing the arm back, look over the shoulder. Breathing in as we come forward. Breathing out again to the other side. And breathing in to come forward. Breathing out. And breathing in. One more on each side. So a gentle rotation. Just go as far as what's comfortable. Bringing it back to the center, taking those arms down, and again just having a little roll just to loosen off. Okay, we're going to come into a nice mermaid stretch now. So we're going to wrap the legs around us. So let's have the right leg in front of us, the left leg behind you, just so we're all going the same way and we don't get confused. So this is quite a demanding position sometimes in the hips. So if this does feel a little bit tight and tense, try grabbing a pillow and sitting on that, or maybe just folding up a towel slightly and just sliding it underneath you. just so it helps lift you slightly, and it might just tip the pelvis forward slightly so you're not feeling uncomfortable in this position. So do try sitting on something if needed. So we've got that right foot in front of us, almost in line with the front edge of the mat, and your left foot behind you in line with the back edge of the mat. So a mermaid stretch is really lovely because it's going to release down through the sides of the body, known as lateral flexion. So this area tends to get quite tense, again, if you're doing a lot of sitting and not being as active. So we're going to take the arms up about shoulder height and the palms facing down. Feel as though you are lifting up out of the hips, lengthening to the ceiling. Taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're coming down on that right side, away from the feet, placing the hands down onto the floor and reaching yourself over. If you can, come all the way down onto that forearm if you feel you can, or stay on the hand. So you're getting this nice deep stretch down through the side. Take a breath here as you hold it. And then breathing out as we start to come back up, restack and come back to the center. Again on that side, breathing in and out. Feel that you're lifting up, reach the hand to the ceiling, reach over, down onto that forearm if you can. Big stretch, hold it there, breathing in and out as we start to come back up. We're going to add a little bit of rotation now into the mix if you can. So again, breathing in and out, coming over again. And this time, keep traveling with the arms. Take it all the way over. Gently rotate so you can place that hand and forearm onto the floor. So now you're in rotation. Hold it here, take a breath in. And breathing out, peel the hand away and start to take yourself back up and off the floor. And again, breathing in and out, reaching it up and over again. If you want to, just stay in the mermaid stretch. But if you can, take that hand all the way over, place it down onto the floor so both arms are down. Breathing in and out as you start to peel away and bring yourself off the floor. Lovely. And relax those arms and we'll change sides. So now bringing the left leg in front, right leg behind. Again, feel free to use a pillow or something underneath you to lift you out of the hips. Taking those arms out again, shoulder height, palms down. Breathing in and out. Feel that you reach and come over. Either stay on the hand or take it down onto that forearm as you reach over. Just feeling that nice stretch down through the side. Breathing in and out as we start to come back up. All the way. And again, breathing in and out, reaching up and over, down onto the forearm if you can. Breathing in and out. Lovely, adding the rotation, breathing in and out, coming over again. This time, keep traveling with the arm, take it all the way over, placing it down onto the floor, forearms down. Hold it there, take a breath in. And breathing out, peel the hand away. And start to come back up. And one more time, breathing in. And up and over. Taking that hand all the way around with you, place it down onto the floor. Hold it there, breathing in. And out, peeling away. And up we come. Finish that last one. Take it down. Roll those shoulders again if you need to. We're going to come around into all fours now. So just take a moment to bring yourself around. And if you need to, feel free to roll up the end of your mat for the wrists, or maybe using a rolled up towel. You could have something underneath the knees as well if you need to. So coming into all fours, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Lengthening through the spine, just finding those natural curves, letting yourself settle, eye line down, roughly in between the hands. So we're going to break down our cat stretch and we're going to work
on the 3 segments of the spine. So we're going to start in the lumbar spine first of all, starting with tail tucks. So imagine that you've got a nice long fluffy tail out behind you. We're going to take a breath in, and as we breathe out, imagine trying to tuck the tail down between your legs. You're just gently rounding in the lower back. Try and avoid it turning into full flexion. Keep the rest of the spine still, that's the challenge. And then breathing in as you start to lift the tail and just take that lumbar spine into a little bit of extension. So as if you're sticking your bottom up towards the ceiling. Breathing out again as you start to tuck the tail, gently rounding in the lower back. And breathing in as we then lift the tail into a gentle extension. Keep it going. So you might be quite limited here because there's not a lot of movement in the lumbar. So just go with what you've got. Think of that nice long fluffy tail, tucking it down, and then sending it up to the ceiling. Let's do it one more time. And bring yourself back to neutral. Now coming into the thoracic region of the spine, so around the back of the rib cage and the shoulders. Taking a breath and breathing out as you gently round into the rib cage and the shoulders. Avoid the lower back joining in now, and breathing in as you gently sink into extension in that mid back. And breathing out as you gently round into the back of the rib cage, and then breathing in as you allow the rib cage to sink to the floor. Breathing out, rounding, and breathing in, gently sink. Again, just a couple more. So now focusing on that mid area of the back. Try and avoid tucking the tail now. One more time. And bring yourself back into neutral, tuck the rib cage in. And now working on the cervical spine, so your head and your neck. So eye line at the floor, take a breath. And as you breathe out, nod the head, draw chin towards the chest. You're coming into flexion. And then breathing in as we take the head through, look slightly forward to take the head into extension. Breathing out as you tuck the head into flexion. And breathing in as you release the head and take it into extension. So now nothing else should be moving. The rest of the spine is staying nice and still. And you're just moving in head and neck. Let's do it one more time. And bringing the head back in line with the spine, eye line at the floor. And now adding all those elements together to take it into your cat stretch. So taking a breath, breathing out as you start with the tail tuck, and then let it travel through the spine, ripple through, taking yourself into that nice long curve, tucking the head down last, holding it there as you breathe in, and breathing out as we start to unravel, bringing the head and the tail through and coming into a gentle extension, just gently hanging in the mid-back. Breathing in to hold, breathing out, start by tucking the tail again and curling it through. Into cat stretch, breathing in and out as we unravel, taking it into extension. Let's do 2 more of these. So just a really nice movement to mobilize and release the spine. I don't want you to feel restricted. I want a nice fluid movement. Just let yourself move into the flexion and into the extension. And finish your last one. Return the spine to neutral. And from here, we're going to lie ourselves down onto our front. So if you do have a towel, just move it out the way. Lower yourself down slowly onto the floor, onto your tummy. And we're going to come into a little bit of extension here. So we're coming into our diamond press. Really lovely for the upper spine and the shoulders. So you're making a diamond shape with your thumb and your fingers. And you're just going to rest the hands down in front of you. Have that diamond just resting above the forehead. So you could just rest on your thumbs. And let the arms relax. If you feel tension in your shoulders in this position, you might need to play with the hands. So maybe take them a little bit higher, a little bit lower, or maybe open out the hands so that you can relax the shoulders and draw them down the back. Because if you've got tension, you just won't be able to move and you'll feel limited. So find the position that works for you. Feel that you're drawing those shoulders down the back. And just lengthen out the legs behind you, about hip width apart and in parallel. Feel that you're gently scooping in through the abdominals. So you're supporting the lower back. And we're going to take a breath in here. And as you breathe out, start to roll the nose along the floor towards your hands. And then lengthening out through the top of the head. Start to shine the breastbone forward and feel that you're coming out of the shoulders just into a gentle extension, not too far. Maybe looking at your diamond now on the mat. Breathing in and out as we slowly come back down and settle back onto the floor. And again, breathing in and out. Roll the nose, lengthening out. Just coming towards the bottom of the rib cage. Breathing in. And out, taking it down. Let's aim for 6 of these. If you need to, play with the position of the hands. You feel tension in your shoulders. Find the position that works well for you. Avoid pressing through the arms. Maybe imagine that you have a thread coming out the top of your head and it's just lengthening you out, drawing you out of the floor. Last couple. Coming up on the out breath. Now last one when you're ready. Turning yourself to the floor. And from here, when you're ready, let's just slowly push ourselves back into our rest position. Just to release. So let's open up the hips a little bit more than we would do normally. So have your toes touching, open out those knees nice and wide, walk those hands out, and really think about trying to bring your chest down into the floor. So we're getting a little bit more of a stretch into that upper spine. If you need to, place some pillows behind the back of the knees, or have some blocks or pillows underneath your head. You can't quite come all the way down. And we're just going to hold it here for a moment. Take some deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And with your next breath out, just slowly start to walk the hands in, tuck the tail down as you start to roll yourself back through the spine. Just stacking up. Bringing the head on top. Again, have a little roll of those shoulders there. And from here, we're going to come and lie onto our back. And this is where you will need your soft Pilates ball or a pillow, or feel free just to rest your head onto the floor. So we're going to lie ourselves back, and we're going to use the ball a bit like a pillow, or using a pillow, and place it behind the back of your head. So just tuck the feet in towards you. As you would do normally, think about finding your neutral alignment. So feet tucked in, hip width apart, and in parallel. Excuse my cat that's just sat right in front of the camera. So the ball is underneath the head, and you can just rest your hands onto the front of the pelvis so that you can open out the elbows, release the shoulders into the floor, and feel open across the chest. So just make sure whatever you're using behind your head, whether it be a ball or a pillow, that it hasn't pushed your head forward and dropped your chin down towards your chest. So make sure it's behind the back of your head and not your neck, and your eye line is straight up towards the ceiling. And just let yourself settle here for a moment. Draw down through the back of the pelvis and the back of the rib cage. Just finding your neutral spine. And take a couple of deep breaths. Just feel the weight of your head resting into the ball or into your pillow. And we're going to start off by moving through the head and the neck, coming into nose spirals. So we're going to keep them small to start with. So imagine a pencil strapped to the end of your nose, pointing straight up to the ceiling. And we're going to start drawing very small circles, about the size of a 10p. So just gently moving through the head. Quite subtle, nice and small. Circling one way. Just breathing naturally. And then let's change direction again, keeping it small to start with. Just feeling a little bit of movement and a gentle release through the back of the neck. And now let's take it back the other way again, but this time start to spiral the circle out. So with each circle, start to make it a little bit bigger. There's a little bit more movement, keeping the head heavy on the ball, just going a little bit bigger with those circles. Keep the shoulders relaxed. And let's start to spiral back in. So now making the circles a little bit smaller each time. Gently slowing it down until you settle to a stop and back to the center. Now taking it into a chin tuck, so breathing in and out as you gently start to nod the head, chin towards the chest, head just gently moving on the ball but try and avoid lifting. Now breathing in as you start to take the head back and just gently opening the throat. Breathing out again as we nod the head. Breathing in as we tip the head back, not too far, just to open the throat. Breathing out to tuck. Breathing in to open the throat. So let's do it one more time into that nice little flexion. And then extension. And settle the head back to neutral, eye line straight up to the ceiling. And we're going to take this into neck rolls. We're just going to float the arms up now. So just reach them to the ceiling, palms facing each other. Draw the back of the rib cage down and just relax the shoulders into the floor. So we're open across the chest. Now do go careful if you've got long hair that you don't catch the hair on the ball as we start to roll. Take a breath. And as you breathe out, just rolling the head over to the right. Not too far that you feel you're going to roll off. And then breathing in as we roll back to the center. And then breathing out again as we roll to the left. Breathing in to roll to the center. Breathing out to roll to the right. Breathing in to the center. Breathing out and roll to the left. Bringing it back to the center, we're just going to add a little bit of movement now through the arms. So again, we're going to roll the head, but we're going to come into a single arm fly, so the opposite arm. So again, if we roll the head to the right, we're going to open the left arm out towards the floor, just opening the chest slightly. Breathing in as we draw the arm back up and roll the head to the center. And now breathing out as we come to the other side, opening the right arm. Breathing in, coming back to the center, floating the arm up. Breathing out to the other side. Breathing in to come up. Breathing out to the other side. Just taking the arm as far as what's comfortable. Let's bring it back to the center. Again, we're going to change the movement with the arms. So just turn the palms now to face away from you, towards your legs. And we're coming into backstroke arms, so a little bit of coordination needed. So we're going to roll the head to the right. Take the left arm back behind your head and the right arm down by your side. And breathing in as we roll back to the center and float the arms back up. And now breathing out as we change over. So rolling the head to the left, right arm back behind the head, left arm by your side. Breathing in, rolling back up and floating the arms. One more time to each side, breathing out. And breathing in. And out. And coming back up to the center. And now just take the ball away from behind your head. Just let your head rest onto the mat and just feel the difference as you settle your head into the floor. Hopefully we've released a little bit of tension through the back of the neck. And your head might feel a little bit heavier now, resting into the floor. So just a little bit of release before we use the ball behind us again. So just resting the arms down by your side, relax the shoulders. And now taking a breath. And as you breathe out, think about taking your chin towards the right shoulders. You're slightly rolling and slightly nodding at the same time. Getting a gentle stretch down through the side of the neck. Breathing in as you bring the head back up to the center. And then breathing out as we now take the chin towards the left shoulder. Breathing in, coming back to the center. Breathing out again over to the right. So almost like you're drawing the letter A, you're coming down each side, drawing that chin towards the shoulder. So you're gently flexing and you're gently rotating at the same time. Let's just do it one more time on each side. Try and keep those shoulders relaxed. Just moving through the head. And bringing the head back to the center. Finish that last one. And now just to really appreciate what we've done through the neck and shoulders, we're going to float those arms up for shoulder drops. So again, reaching to the ceiling, Palms facing each other again, shoulder width apart. And now take a breath in as you reach through both arms. Feel the shoulder blades just peel from the floor. And breathing out as you draw the shoulder blades back down. Breathing in as we gently reach. And breathing out as you draw the shoulders down. Roughly 6 of these. So a nice release for those shoulders again. Try and keep the rib cage settled and just feel the gliding of the shoulder blades on your back. Finishing your last one, floating those arms down by your side. And now just slowly sit yourself up for a moment so that you can place the ball underneath you. Now if you've got a pillow, you could give this a try, or you could just stay on the floor. If you've got a ball though, you're going to place it roughly in between your shoulder blades. And then just very slowly, we're going to start lowering ourselves back over the ball. So don't go too quickly now, because you're going to take yourself into a lot of extension. And if it does feel uncomfortable, then just keep yourself on the floor and take the ball or the pillow away. So it just means that we come into extension in that thoracic spine. Make sure that the ball isn't too low, that it's resting into your lower back, and it's not too high, that it's resting up around your neck. So roughly between the shoulder blades. Rest the head down, but if you can't quite come all the way back, or it feels a little bit uncomfortable, either place a pillow or a block behind the back of your head. So it just bridges that gap and you don't have to bring yourself back quite as far, but you're still getting the benefit of the stretch. So give that a try if needed. And we're just going to take the arms out wide into almost a V shape, palms facing up towards the ceiling. And just take a moment for some deep breaths here, because it is a big stretch. And try and settle down through the back of the pelvis. Still think about being in your neutral. Try and avoid arching through the rib cage, so try and let the rib cage settle, gently drawing it down. Try and relax the shoulders, feel the weight of your arms. And now take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, start to float the arms up. And we're going to give ourselves a hug. So cross the arms over, wrap those hands around you. Give yourself a big hug. So try and reach round and feel those shoulder blades. Hold it here, take a breath in. And then breathing out, release those arms back out to the floor into that big V. Again, breathing in. And out, float the arms up. Now try and cross them over in the other direction, if you can remember which way you went. Again, to hug you, draw those hands around. Breathing in. And out. And releasing the hands and taking them down. And now holding it here, and think about snow angels. So imagine that you're lying in the snow. We're going to take a breath in. Just breathe out as you start to float the arms along the floor, like you're making a nice big snow angel, and just bring those arms up as far as what's comfortable. Don't go too far that you feel you're arching your spine away from the ball. Try and keep relaxed. And then breathing in as you slide and float those arms down towards the hips, and breathing out again as we slide those arms up above the head or as far as you can. Breathing in, drawing it down. Let's do it one more time. Breathing out, nice big snow angel. Breathing in, drawing it down by your side. And now as you breathe out, just lift the arms and start to float them all the way back over your head. And take the legs away and bring yourself into a full body stretch. Keep the ball or the pillow there if you want to. And just reach out through the fingers, through the toes. Nice big stretch. And take a couple of deep breaths in. And now just floating those arms, bringing them all the way down. Tucking the feet back in towards you. And now to come off the ball, just gently roll yourself over to one side. So you can take the ball out from behind you. And bring yourself down onto the floor. And just feel the difference again now in that thoracic area of the spine. Feel released, a little bit heavier, maybe down through the back of the rib cage. And take a couple of deep breaths in.